Hello and welcome to another episode of Film Spill, a movie night podcast. I'm your host, Chelsea. Film Spill, if you already don't know, is a podcast that comes out every week, and we talk about a movie by a female filmmaker every episode. We also discuss women in their entertainment industry in general, and we play slumber party type games, spill entertainment gossip, and get to know each other and our guest. Today we're going to talk about Andrea Arnold's drama film, Fish Tank, 2009. But first, it's time for a Name That episode. This week, we will be discussing Insecure. The show was created by Issa Rae and Larry Wilmore. Issa Rae plays herself as Issa. She starred in all 44 episodes. She actually wrote 9 of those episodes. The comedy series looks at the friendship of 2 Black women in a unique, authentic way. It features the music both indie and established artists of color and touches on a variety of social and racial issues that relate to contemporary Black experience. The women who directed and wrote for the series from 2016 to 2021 were all women of color. Kerry Washington and Regina King both directed episodes for the series. All 5 seasons are available to watch on HBO Max. As always, because I am doing this episode by myself, there will be no slumber party type game. But I will say that I can take this time to shout out another person who deserves recognition in the film industry. I got an email. I'm subscribed to A24. I mean, not real. But I got an email that a director by the name of Charlotte Wells was releasing a film. So the film is called Aftersun. It actually premieres tomorrow, Tuesday, December 13th, which is 2 days from when I'm recording this episode. But it's $20 a ticket. Tickets have a 6-hour viewing window starting Tuesday, December 13th at 7. It says how I can watch. After you've purchased a ticket, you can watch the film on the following platforms: the web, Apple TV, and Roku. Charlotte Wells is the director and writer for this film. I watched the trailer. It seems pretty interesting. So let's dive into this week's film, Fish Tank 2009. Fish Tank is available to watch for free on Tubi TV. I also found it on YouTube, so either or. You can watch it on Tubi TV or YouTube. This discussion will contain spoilers for the film, so if you haven't already seen it, go watch and come back afterwards to hear my thoughts. So this movie is about our protagonist, whose name is Mia, is a rebellious teenager on the verge of being kicked out of school. Her hard-partying mother, Joanne, neglects Mia's welfare in favor of her own, and her younger sister hangs out with a much older crowd. Sparks fly between Mia and Connor, Joanne's new boyfriend, and he encouraged Mia to pursue her interest in dance. As the boundaries of the relationship become blurred, Mia and Joanne compete for Connor's affection. The writer-director for this amazing film is Andrea Arnold. She is an English filmmaker. She is a director, screenwriter, and actor. She is a 3-time winner of the Jury Prize at Cannes Film Festival for her following films: Red Road, 2006, Fish Tank, 2009, and American Honey, 2016. American Honey was actually her first film for Hollywood studio, which she worked with A24 to produce. It is about a teenage girl with nothing to lose, joins a traveling magazine sales crew, and gets caught in a whirlwind of hard partying, law-bending, and young love as she crisscrosses the Midwest with a band of misfits. This is starring Shia LaBeouf and Sasha Lane. I haven't seen the film personally, but I'm definitely intrigued and I definitely want to watch the film. So I'll keep you posted. Maybe I'll do another episode about it. So, I've never seen Sasha Lane act in anything prior to watching her in this new Hulu show. and I can't think of it at the top of my head, but yeah, no, I have to dig in deep for that, but like real deep, because I completely forget. But she's in the show, and she plays an ex-girlfriend. Maybe you guys know what I'm talking about. But that's the first time that I've seen Sasha Lane act in anything. And Shia LaBeouf, I haven't seen act in a really long time. In 2019, reports came out that producers of Big Little Lies Season 2 had taken away all creative control from director Andrea Arnold. With all episodes being reshot, recut, Arnold's vision was essentially erased from the series. So I didn't even know she directed Season 2, and I didn't investigate, or I didn't even hear about. I needed to catch up on my film news, clearly, that she was even directing Season 2. So this was very surprising news for me, but it's very unfortunate that that happened. And when I was trying to see how she responded to that, she didn't really want to comment. All she replied to the press was, "I learned a great deal." That's all I'm going to say. Many of her narrative movies featuring reoccurring animal imagery. In Fish Tank, there was a horse that Mia kept going to, and that was the animal imagery in this film. But I know that she changes the animal imagery in each film. Each has their own significance. I haven't seen all the films personally, so I can't really speak on behalf of the symbolism behind them, but definitely go check them out, watch them. I mean, I love this film, so I'm sure that her other films are great as well. So one of her shorts actually won an Oscar for Best Live Action Short, which was Wasp. It's about a young woman who leaves her children in a parking lot bar so she can go on a date with a man. That is an ongoing theme that Andrea uses in her films. Arnold creates raw and gritty images. Her films examine poverty and sexuality. Andrea Arnold has quoted, "My films don't give you an easy ride. I can see that. The sense I get is that people have quite a physical experience with them. They feel afterward that they've really been through something." Arnold focuses her films through the female experience, especially women in desperate circumstances fighting for control of their own lives. Her film style can be said to be exploratory. As a director, she always allows her actors to be free. She allows for chance and imperfections. She is confident in giving her actors freedom to do what they please. Andrea Arnold is well known for her usage on the 4:3 ratio square frame. Framing draws our eyes to faces and emotions and the smallest details in life, also making you feel trapped and contained. In the movie, they use a lot of nostalgic music, taking you back to the early 2000s. I was trying to Shazam the song that was in the movie, and I couldn't figure it out. And maybe if I ask my fiance, she'll know. But it's like, "You've been waiting so long, I'm gonna answer your call." I don't know, literally it's in the first beginning scene, so if you watch it, let me know what song it is, because I can't figure it out. But anyways, there's a lot of nostalgic music. I felt what Mia was feeling, as her character just seemed to have everything bad happen to her. She didn't have a good support system around her, so she seeked this comfort in her mom's boyfriend, and she's going through all of these sexual changes, and she doesn't know how to go about that. I had never seen Fish Tank before. I've heard of it. I've heard of Andrea Arnold, but I've never seen any of her films. I'm missing out. I really gotta catch up. This is an older film. This came out back in 2009. So I was in middle school, I think, when this movie came out. I thought that the story took a turn that I wasn't expecting. I think I read the synopsis of the film completely wrong, because I read about someone who was just passionate about dancing. I did not read someone who loves dancing and eventually has a relationship or has a sexual desire for her mom's boyfriend. But then once I did my research on the film, I saw that that was part of the synopsis. So I don't know, probably didn't read it right the first time. But yeah, I was completely shocked. I did not know that this is where the movie was gonna take a turn. But I felt for her just feeling very isolated and feeling trapped. And that's where the title comes from, Fish Tank. She's contained. She doesn't have a good support system around her. There's not much encouragement or support, and she's a very angry person, and she latches out, and sometimes I feel like she kind of looks for trouble, in a sense where there's a scene and there's a horse involved and the horse is sick and she's trying to free the horse, and she gets herself in danger multiple times to save the horse, and you think that she would learn her lesson, but she's so passionate about helping this horse, and maybe that symbolizes that she's so desperate that she wants that help in return. She's looking for that help and reassurance, and we see this scene come back where the horse eventually dies, and I feel like that symbolizes her losing something, her losing her virginity, because she does have her first sexual encounter, and that's just a part of her that dies alongside with the horse. And yeah, that was just, it was a very hard scene to watch. You just felt so sorry for her. I feel like as an outsider looking into this movie, you can see that you understand why Mia is seeking this comfort from Connor, and why she's attracted to him, because he's an attractive young male. He's giving her love that she doesn't receive from her mother. She doesn't have friends. She breaks into an abandoned apartment to go dance by herself away from people. She tries to start fights. In the beginning, she tries to start a fight with the group of girls who are dancing, which, by the way, was a very cringy dance to watch. But that's besides the point. Then when she's causing trouble and trying to free this horse. And also when she kidnaps Connor's daughter as like kind of like a revenge plot thing. I thought that was going to go south real quick. I was very happy that the young girl was saved at the end. Huge spoiler alert. But yeah, it was a very lengthy film as well. I thought that the story kept going. I was like, oh, there's more? Like, oh, okay. Like, there's just more to the story. But like I said, this story was going in a direction that you weren't expecting. Like, I wasn't expecting Connor to actually finally make a move on Mia in that sort of way. I thought the first time, and I'm glad that it didn't go this route, but like I said, I never heard of this movie before. I didn't know how the director was going to take the scene. But there's a part of the movie where Connor takes up Mia, and this is before he made a move on her and had sex, but he takes her upstairs and he unbuckles her pants and he leaves her there. She's there but with underwear, and tucks her into bed, whatever. And like, he could have easily made a move on her because she was unconscious, and you know, we've all seen that in movies and TV shows, but he didn't. And so you were like, okay, or at least I was like, okay, like, he knows boundaries, like he won't step that boundary with her, he just really cares for her, right? And then he was drinking, and I forget if they were drinking together. Maybe they were drinking together, and she dances in front of him, and that got him to have sex with her. But I didn't know she was 15. So it is this 15-year-old girl has sex with like probably this like 30-something-year-old guy who, plot twist, okay, this is where I totally wasn't, and like I said, it kept going, but things unexpectedly were happening, so it made me want to keep watching. Like, I didn't even care about the length at the end when all of this stuff was going down. But anywho, so at the end, right, let me get into it. He lets her borrow a camcorder, right? This is like one of the affection things that he does for Mia, one of the nice things that he does for her, right? He gives her this camcorder to film herself so she can audition for what is like an adult show, and she doesn't know that in the beginning, but that's besides the point. So she ends up giving it back to him, and so she sneaks into his house, because that is one of the rebellious things that she does, right? Sneaks into his house and watches the camcorder, like watches like the footage that's on the camcorder, and one of the footages is of his wife and his daughter, and she can't believe it. She found out his secret that all along he was sleeping with her mom, sleeping with her, but he had a family at home and a daughter. And so what she does in return is she pisses on his rug on his floor, and she kidnaps his daughter, but she ends up bringing her back because the daughter almost drowned from like this fight encounter that they had. And yeah, he ends up like slapping her in the face too, which is uncool, because she did that to get back at him, but that's not the right way to get back at him. But I guess you can say I see both sides. Alright, so going into the characters of the movie, I'm only just going into like the main two, which is Katie Garvis, who plays Mia, and Michael Fassbender, who plays Connor. So Katie got into some trouble from racial comments and hasn't really done much throughout the years, so I'm not gonna really go into Katie as much, because I don't know what's up with her and all of that shebang. But Michael Fassbender, I'm like, I've seen his face before. I know he looked familiar, because I've seen him on Assassin's Creed, Steve Jobs, and he's Magneto in X-Men. Like, what? So this is like one of the first films that he starred in. He plays such diverse characters. He can really pretty much do anything, and it's just crazy to see how much he's expanded in his career as an actor. He's been killing the game ever since. I definitely recommend this movie to watch. It's free, so go watch it. Not all movies are free, and everything costs money, and everything is a subscription cost. Tubi has been really reliable though for free movies. I like Tubi, so shout out to Tubi TV. Not sponsored, but hey, maybe one day. And also, if you want to go check out some other Andrea Arnold films, I'm gonna include that in the show note if I can find any links to them, or where you can stream them if you are interested, and maybe I can do another one of her films in the future. Let me know if that is something that you're interested in. And don't forget, if you guys have any suggestions, recommendations, I'm always open ears. Fish Tank won the Outstanding British Film Award in 2010. It may have helped that Miss Arnold gave the script to her cast one scene at a time, so they did not know what was coming. Production design and costuming. So they used project housing as the main setting for where Mia lived. It was very unique because the doors were wide open. It was like anyone could just come on into my home. Like, everyone felt safe, I guess, there. I've never felt safe, especially in the projects, but I guess in the UK, hey, mi casa's tu casa. There was 2,000 wardrobes, so baggy sweatpants, not the Reeboks, definitely not with the straps, but we got the baggy sweatpants, we got the black top, and we got the big hoop earrings. That was the style. It still is my personal style when I go out. I'm telling myself I'm gonna style myself out a little bit better, but it's cold and I do not feel like dressing up nice in this cold weather. I'd rather bundle up in layers of clothing than look cute. I can look like a snowman and I'll be fine. Thank you for listening. This has been Film Spill, a movie night podcast. You can follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Pinterest. All are at Film Spill Pod. Don't forget to tell a friend about the podcast if you liked it. Leave a review for us on Apple Podcasts, and that will help other people find Film Spill too. Special thanks to Onyx Films for promoting us. You can check out Onyx's other projects at Onyx-Films. Until next time, don't cry over a spilled film.